Two Chicago area college students kidnapped.
Two college students in New York are rescued by a SWAT team after allegedly being held against
Two
their
football players from the University of Rochester.
Two-day kidnapping and beating of two University of Rochester undergrads.
For a drug robbery they had nothing to do with.
From the pocket,
hoes and
he's
popping
looking
pillies,
deep,
man, I
looking
feel just
for
like a rock
Dockery,
star.
and he makes it.
All my brothers got that gas and they always be.
Today, we are back on the grind. I miss you guys, and as you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a crazy one. Before we get this video started, I gotta do my shout out. I shout out one subscriber every video, and the winner for today's video goes to my homie, You Money. He says, "Squad, I love you, Dockery. I love you too, bro." If you guys are new and don't know how to win a shout out, it's easy. There's only 2 steps. Just turn on the bell below this video next to the subscribe button, and then comment squad. Next video, I'll randomly choose. So today we're going to be talking about a crazy emotional story about 2 college football players. One named Nico Colias, and the second, he actually decided to keep his name unknown, so I have no idea who he is. But Nico actually ended up sharing his story about what happened to him and his experience, and man, this is crazy. After watching this video, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. So Nico Colias enrolled at the University of Rochester to chase his 2 passions, football and piano. Now, like all of us athletes, college is the dream. College was the most exciting thing I had to look forward to growing up. So when he got to college, he was in his passion doing 2 things he loved. Now Nico, who is 6'1", 215-pound defensive end, entered his senior year. Towards the end of his season, this is where the tragedy started. So one night, his teammate hit him up. He asked if he wanted to attend this party that he was invited to by 2 random girls on Facebook. At the time, Nico thought it wasn't a bad idea. Yeah, let's go chill with these girls. They look cool. It won't be a big deal. Now, when he was interviewed, he also mentioned that he had no idea who these girls were. So him and his friend actually met up that night, picked up these 2 girls, and took them back to their house. Supposedly, this was where the party was supposed to be at. They finally got there, and of course, there was no party. Hint number 1, to leave. Nobody was there. The house actually kind of looked deserted and was in a bad neighborhood. Hint number 2, but you know, being college football players with the 2 girls, you wouldn't really think anything of it. Especially like the house has a gang inside ready to jump you guys. Just 2 girls trying to have fun. So they followed these 2 girls inside the house. Nico said the first thing he smelled was urine and feces. Hint 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, at this point, bruh, I forgot to take the dishes out of the toaster. I'm coming up with any excuse to walk straight back out the door I just came through. I don't even care. He walked into the house, sat down, and was chilling on their couch. Couple seconds after, a bunch of guys rushed into the living room with bats, guns, and knives. True story. They were all wearing masks, screaming and demanding things. A couple seconds later, the lights went out. Now, of course, like anybody would do, Nico tried to run away as fast as he could. He made it halfway across the living room until he got shot in his leg. After he got shot, they dragged him and his teammate to the bathroom and tied both of their hands behind their back and started torturing them. Now, for the next 3 hours, they used all kinds of weapons, rifles, pipes, crowbars, and an iron. Man, that's crazy. Now, while they're in the bathroom, they were scared for their lives. Nico and his teammate were begging to do anything to stay alive and be released. When he was asked in an interview what was going through his head at the time, Nico said he was just so confused because, like you guys saw at the beginning of the video, this was a mistake. These guys were mistaken to be somebody else. So they had no idea why they were being held hostage. These guys had a chainsaw and were hitting him and his teammates in the head with them. During the interview, Nico said that he would go black for like 2 minutes and then he would wake up and be surrounded in a puddle of blood. He also said he was pushing himself to stay strong and not give up, and was staying as positive as he can throughout this whole situation. Now that's cool. I respect him for doing that, because that's hard to stay positive going through something so negative like he was. And also, he didn't want to close his eyes because he felt like if he did, he would die. Now, the morning after that night, they had been missing for over 12 hours. The school became aware of their absence and they reported them missing. New day, they woke up and realized they were still living the same nightmare. The gang members came into the room and started demanding money this time. Now, this part is crazy because Nico actually had to call his bank and pretend like he wasn't being held hostage to take money out of his account. The bank was closed and because it was the weekend, they took matters into their own hands. After torturing him for his PIN number, they took his wallet, all his debit cards, credit cards, and started cashing them out. These guys were caught on camera driving up with their masks and taking money out of the ATMs. Now this is how dumb these dudes were. These guys really went on shopping sprees after taking all of his money. Like, if you steal money, that's the last thing you want to do if you don't want to get caught. Now of course the cops caught on to this. They saw strange activity going on in his account and saw the money being taken out. Now they actually caught the girls first because they were the last ones to talk to the boys. They brought the girls in to be questioned about the whereabouts of these missing college athletes, and after 14 long hours, they finally got an address out of them. The cops got ready and had a SWAT team drive to the location. Now the SWAT team got there and rushed inside with explosives, flashbangs, guns, and everything. Nico at the time said the whole house shook when they got there, and he actually thought the gang members were burning down the house, but it was actually the SWAT team saving them. Now after they rushed in, they got the two athletes out and they rushed them to the hospital, where Nico had to get emergency surgery on his wounds, having 4 different blood transfusions and getting a metal rod through his leg. He also had to get glass removed out of his ears and his skull. Now the craziest part, this is the craziest part, after it was all over, the police pieced together the motive for the assault, and we found out that Nico's teammate was actually the one mistaken for another player on the team. And this player, he was actually one of their best players on their football team. Star linebacker Isaiah Smith, who was involved in drug dealing and stole drugs from these drug dealers. Isaiah Smith was sentenced to 13 years in prison. The 2 women that tried to get them to go to the party, they were sentenced to more than 12 years in prison. All of the men that were involved in torturing, for life. And the most inspiring part of this story is what Nico did after the tragedy. Nico rehabbed and got back to a point where he could eventually walk again. He joined the marathon and crushed it. And at the end of the interview, he said all he's doing is trying to forget the past by focusing on more positive things in life. Now, what do I tell you guys all the time? Always try to find a positive in every negative. But hey, like I do every video, I gotta answer some questions for you guys. Now, if you got questions, don't be afraid to ask them below. I do pick random ones every video to answer, just like this one. But also, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this story. And if you guys have any suggestions, don't hesitate to reach out and tell me what other amazing stories I should make videos about. But the first question goes to my bro, OMJ Vision 21. You inspire me every day to get better at football, but do you have any tips on how to get better at corner, squad? Yes, I actually do have a lot of tips on how to get better at corner. I do want to make a video about that. And you know how I do discussion, half vlogs in all my videos. You guys gotta watch out for it because it will be in one of my videos soon. I will give you guys tips on how to press receivers, and also tips on how to play deep balls, because those are 2 important things corners need to work on to be really good at the next level. So I want you guys to stay tuned for that because that's gonna be dope. Vision, I want you to stay tuned and be on the lookout for that coming soon. My boy Trey Dockery, he said, squad, can you do a vid for D-line? I wanted to answer this question because I wanted to tell you that if you haven't seen my D-line videos yet, I want you to go check them out. One I did, it was with the Vikings, and I'm pretty sure I did another one, but so if you look at my NFL collabs, I did do one with the NFL player who played for the Vikings, and he's one of my homies. But I will make another video soon. I will get back on my NFL collabs and position groups for you guys. So I want you guys to stay on the lookout for those also, because those are dope and I love doing those. And so yeah, if you guys have any video suggestions, just let me know below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social media, staying updated, staying connected. I do follow sprees, giveaways, and I talk to a lot of my fans through them. I've been slacking lately because you guys know what I've been going through from the last video. But I love you guys. It's your boy Doc, and I'm out.